All right, so Ben Wilson. A portfolio review of Ben Wilson. Pressure's on. So Ben says, anything you think is no longer relevant or what needs improving visually? What's the best way of presenting tools and documentation? So that was actually a discussion I wanted to get into on this review. So if you start at the very bottom of your portfolio, you'll notice that the materials, like you have the things that you've done recently game wise, and then it's like you're keeping stuff but putting it at the end. So like the further you go down your portfolio, the more it becomes more of an archive, which I think I may start suggesting that to people when their portfolios start to get really large, right? Is to take your work that you're like, well, it's good, but I have newer stuff, or the things I'm interested in are at the top, right? So this is cool, having these down here, the 80 level articles. So you have your articles, let's see here. You have your articles at the very end. You have this stone layering series, which was the first time I saw you do something that was so technical that I was like, all right, yeah, he's gonna do something like this soon. And it took some time, but it happened. I mean, you did some, you started doing some plugins. Man, it's real difficult, I think, to present tools and documentation. So let's look at this guy. So you've got your Ben Wilson tools, which I'll just say it needs a logo. And I know. Currently it's mostly sitting in the blogs, but seems out of place. So I wouldn't say this is out of place. Node layout tools. So as far as presenting it in here, it is very difficult to get it into to present in the thumbnail as like, oh, that's a tool, other than just straight up saying, hey, layout tools. All right, Node layout tools. It's a tool. It's BW tools. Okay. So when you click on it, you straight up have a video. If I hit play on this, I'm like, all right, it's a minute 28 seconds. That's not too bad. I think you should upload a video into Artstation that basically sells the tool in like 10 seconds. Like show a graph, and then with some text below it, highlight an area and press a button and show it working. If you guys haven't seen this tool, it's pretty amazing. Like look at so clean. It even gets rid of duplicate nodes that aren't needed. Yeah, it's literally, Ben, just to go on a little tangent here, your tool here is literally like if I were to go into the kitchen, get a plate of spaghetti that's already made, throw it into a pot, and then when I dump the pot over, all the water's not even there, and the pasta's just hard and straight again. And then there's a jar in there somehow, full of pasta sauce. And then I'm like, what the hell? And I look at the pot, and it's just like a Ben Wilson pot. It's like BW tools. You know what you could do is you could put my voice in your trailer. That'll do it. But yeah, I think if you can sell the tool within the first like 5 to 10 seconds, so that they don't even want to, like, this video you have to click play, right? Whereas if it's a Artstation video, doesn't it play automatically? So the moment I go here, it's just like straight up says like Ben Wilson tools, I'll fix your spaghetti. And then blah, you just see the tool work immediately. And then it says for more information, this all pops up down below. And then you can scroll down. There's some imagery that just shows like how, like what you get in the tool, how it behaves. And then you can see it's here, right? And you have a blog post for it. I would even hint at the blog post to the right just to make sure people see that stuff. And you can see this says you've got your link to your store here. But if you go over here, if I go to this material, which is freaking crazy, this thing's insane. Are you controlling what shows here? Yeah, GIF breakdowns would be really nice. Oh my God, I don't have freaking... I think my keyboard is literally... I can't even like... I'm going to lose my mind, man. Anyways. So you don't control this. But if you link anything inside of your descriptions, keeping these descriptions pretty short, and then having a URL link to another substance or a thing you're trying to sell or a tool that you're trying to emphasize. Like if you don't have anything to link in this one, like I would add the URL to this tool in here just so it's being advertised on every piece that you're not. And that's like trying to sell it, right? But it's also trying to bring awareness so that the tool exists. But yeah, these are so sick. Look at this one. Like, you sure these aren't scanned, bro? Let's go back to here. Anything that is no longer relevant or needs improving visually. I mean, I don't think you need the redwood tree bark here anymore. I think you could probably remove the basement corridor. If those are scanned, I fear where he's finding those images. You could probably, man, this is difficult. Artstation really needs an archive button where you can still go back to someone's archive, but it's not part of their portfolio. You know what I mean? I think you could probably remove the hive tree. Nice. Thanks, Alex. If these are covered in your blog somewhere, I would probably just remove, like, what do you want your portfolio to say? Is it kind of like a CV at the same time? You could probably remove the home front piece. The division sculpting stuff is pretty interesting. This probably doesn't need to be here. These guys, I guess these are talks, right? I would just save that for your blog. This one doesn't seem to have the same kind of feel to it as your other thumbnail. Same with this one, right? Where it's not branded in any way. I mean, these aren't branded either. Dang, dude, these are so sick. That's cool. So you're slowly working towards tech art. So I want to start being tailored there. I mean, if you're slowly moving towards tech art, you're slowly moving away from Artstation, right? Shh. So I'm not saying move away from Artstation, okay? But if you're moving away from making art directly, I might start consolidating a lot of this. Like, you don't have to remove it all, but you could take all the division stuff, archive it in some way, either in the blog or other. Make a new post, posting all of this in a single post, and then like you could even do the what are they? These breakdowns. Like right now I'm seeing all. If I go to materials, like this looks pretty nice. Oh man, I bet that background bugs the crap out of you, doesn't it? um, See, it's funny when you go to personal work, it becomes much more technical. So you could say you're moving closer to what you dream of doing or enjoy doing. Let's pretend that background didn't happen. I mean, if you really wanted to, you stay up pretty late. You could probably hand marquee that out. Run a levels, right? The background's pretty dark. You could darken the background until it's almost black and then just start building a mask from it. I mean, honestly, I think it's more about what you feel like showing. All of the stuff looks really good. I think you can take these talks and move them to your blog. They don't necessarily need to be in here. Any of the beta stuff is not really relevant, though the content looks nice. So maybe repackaging the content to just look nice is in like a presentation of material. And then taking like, I don't know, maybe like, so when you look at Instagram, right? People will build their thumbnails so that they talk together or they become one image, right? Have you thought about doing that? So like you could do like, once you have 3 Ben Wilson tools that you can use, dedicate 3 thumbnails to turning it into one Ben Wilson image that shows like the Ben Wilson tools suite, right? Yeah, I think that could be pretty interesting. Like the other thing you could do is like, so you have this one, right? And this is showing 3 different materials. Oh, they're all really different though. Because you could start doing things where you use 4 of them, you make one sphere, and each part of the sphere is like a different material of a set. So then you have like the set as like one large preview. Maybe I'm predicting what's about to happen to portfolios. That could get kind of crazy. Because the thing you're going to have to remember is that some people view the content narrow enough where it's only like 4, or they go wide enough where it goes beyond, you know. Anyways, keep that in mind. That could be some pretty interesting ways to advertise your tools. Trying to think if there's other things to say on here. Matt, you're a big fan of this one, aren't you? Is there any particular piece you have a question on? Two great games, yeah. If it's the first in the list, you can ensure position. I would assume the first 3, you can ensure position in the first 3. But remember, it needs to break in a way where if it does split, that there's still text in each one, right? So maybe you have this like node line that goes down like this, and then there's a node here, and then it splits into another thing. And then there's text in each one, or it all describes the same tool. So that way, if someone's looking on their phone and they scroll past it, then it'll work vertically as well. Anywho, lots of stuff to think about. Yeah, so if you go down here, like, you could probably remove everything from the bottom up to like up to here, minus like the series here, because like everything in here is not really. I mean, it is, sure, the portfolio is kind of all over the place just because it shows everything, right? I mean, you want to go all out and be like, all right, I'm a technical artist that's really well versed in substance tools and materials. Kill these three and kill everything from here down. All of it gone. Just put them in your blog. Just materials. And if you want to go really really hardcore with the material order, rearrange the order of the materials so that they're like Daniel. Look at Daniel Tiger's portfolio. He's got like a color gradient going on in his. I think Alex, you doing that too? I don't know. Oh man, dude, almost a year. Whoa. You don't know if you have enough work for that? Get to work, man. No. I think from here up, you should be good. And you could keep this. I mean, honestly, it's all personal opinions, dude. Because everything in here is really strong. I think I think from here down, for sure, you could remove all this stuff. And by remove, I mean put it somewhere else. Like it could still, it can still exist somewhere. But as far as presenting your tools, the other part, you were saying documentation. So documentation, if there was a way to display, like say a material, for example, you have a slider in the material that does something, right? Show it in images in documentation what that slider does. So it's almost like they can understand how to use the material or the tool without actually having the tool. And we're a visual type of people, right? So being able to do that type of documentation would be really good. Can you check the documentation in the blog? Yeah. Let's see here. Is it just through here? Oh yeah, see, you're doing okay, let's see here. Oh dude, I saw this and was like, this is genius. If anyone hasn't seen this yet, it's amazing. Like what a cool tool. I mean, this looks pretty good to me, man. Yes, you can add custom colors. So one thing I would do is really utilize how the blogs allow you to format the text, so that like have a title for each one of these GIFs. So like up here could just be 10 custom colors are supported as a title, and then like some subtext under it, and then the GIF, right? So that I know what I'm looking at before I even look at the GIF. Is there more documentation? Is this WordPress? No. Is this what you wanted me to look at, Ben? Yeah, scroll down. Store page, overview, installation. Oh, wow. So you're actually doing the documentation in the blog. So I'm totally down with the documentation being in the blog. Remember that you can use Notion for documentation. And then also with your tool, I don't know if you have it already, but I would package like a PDF that's visual and has a breakdown in the same way. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, this is cool though. I mean, I think this is fine, especially when they're GIFs, so you can really see like how they're being used. What? You can set spacing in this tool? that's that's cool, man. That's cool. Man, you don't even have to have those selected and it straightens them. Yeah, Notion just went free a few months ago for like um certain aspects of it. So I would like read the rules to understand what that means, but it's good stuff. This might be outside of that um support, but I mean if you're going down this route, if you're going down this route, I think you would I think you could pay for that pretty easily. It's not that big of a cost investment to have like a hub for that type of stuff, or look into a Wikipedia that's free or quite cheap, or a wiki type site for your documentation. Maybe message Machine Tools and see what Machine's using for documentation. This is good though. I think the way you're organizing this stuff is really good. I mean, there's a lot of info, and you don't have the ability with the way that you're doing it here. You don't have an ability to go to the top or like a list on the side. As blog update. Oh, Artstation blog update might make this way better. Oh, good to know. Good to know. Blog update, huh? Anyways, Ben, your work is phenomenal. I hope by you becoming more of a technical artist that I see more personal art from you. But I won't judge you if that's not the case. You have a child now, a child that needs to become the next Ben Wilson of 3D material surfacing before the age of 7. It's crazy, man. Oh my God. What's the resolution of the displacement on this thing? What's the resolution of this texture? I need to know. Is this like 8K? It's like 8K with like a tessellation that like would choke your average computer. I almost said average child. It's getting late, guys. I got 2 more to go. 2 more.